Thursday, April 22nd, the Canucks lose a 3-0, bit of a snoozer to the Ottawa Senators, and that just kind of felt like a waste of 3 hours of my life. After winning 2 games they probably deserved to lose at the hands of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Canucks lose a game that they probably deserved to win for the most part, but they really didn't capitalize and didn't create much either. So overall, not too much I can say on that. So few scoring chances on either side. Some pretty poor officiating all around has the Canucks losing a game to the Senators that they pretty much needed to win. Thatcher Demko, Matt Murray, the starters tonight. The Canucks have obviously had Matt Murray's number, and Thatcher Demko has had the Ottawa Senators number so far this season, going 4-0 with a 962 coming into this game. Matt Murray against the Canucks, or just overall, is 9-13-1 this year with an 888. In the first period, about 5 minutes in, is the weirdest part of this game, and honestly the only interesting part of this game. And this was when Brady Tkachuk runs over Matthew Highmore way late, way behind the play, like just clear interference, if not more. Hamonic drops the gloves, goes over and fights him, just as you would expect from basically anyone in the NHL. Someone takes sort of a dirty run at one of your players, you drop the gloves, you go fight them. Well, looks like the Canucks are going to the power play, right? Of course not. So Travis Hamonic gets called for an instigator. The ref goes over to the scoring bench, says, Tkachuk gets 2 minutes for interference. Hamonic gets 2 for interference, plus 5 for fighting, and so Tkachuk also got 5 for fighting, and then a game misconduct. Okay, so if you're following, Hamonic gets a game misconduct, and the penalties get even up for the instigator here. The score sheet says game misconduct. The NHL.com website says game misconduct. No one knows what is going on, whether it's a 10-minute misconduct or a game misconduct. John Garrett has to call Toronto, his buddy out in the war room, who says, oh no, it's just 10. I think the NHL.com website still says a game misconduct. So absolutely wild. Forces the Canucks to have 5D for the whole first period, but basically just kind of a mess all around from the NHL. Just a minute later, Zub takes a pretty weak hooking call, maybe a makeup of some sort, and this first power play for the Canucks was absolutely gross. The Canucks didn't give a chance to set up. Just disgusting. Then Matthew Highmore takes a penalty with about 12 minutes to go in the first period, so we're still pretty early in the game. And Tim Stützle scores. A Nick Paul shot gets tipped as Stützle sort of flies in front of the net. Stützle's all like, yep, I got it, like pointing at himself, like, okay, buddy. Cool. 1-0 Ottawa. And then shortly after that, later in the first period, Jake Virtanen goes to the penalty box, gets called for a high stick. Brandon Sutter, moving in shorthanded, gets the most obvious trip against him. Guy sort of like tried to trip him and then ends up sweeping out the leg. Textbook tripping call, literally 6 feet in front of the referee. Doesn't get called, sends come the other way. Myers can't control the puck in front of the net. Drake Batherson scores to make it 2-0 Ottawa. So that's all of the goals that happened. So if that's all you're interested in, you can leave the video. But so much more happened that was such a mess for the Vancouver Canucks. Into the second period, Brady Tkachuk takes a high sticking penalty on Tyler Myers. Also, kind of a weak call. It didn't really look like a stick made contact with his face, but again, these refs were literally ranked 1 and 2 in minor penalties called in the league last year, so I guess that's who we got for this one. So power play 2 comes out to start, because about a minute and a half in the first period. The first line had just started the period. Power play 2 comes out, and it's just a comedy of errors. Myers makes a pass to nobody. Jimmy Vesey, kind of alone in front of the net, makes a pass to the far post where there's nobody there. Connor Brown then breaks his stick, scrambles off the ice. Canucks basically have a temporary 5-on-3. Travis Boyd gets the puck in the corner, tries to feed it back to the point, but Formanton's already had time to come on to replace Connor Brown, pick the pass off, and go have a 2-on-1 the other way and almost score. Luckily, Demko made a good stop on Nick Paul. 0 shots for the Canucks on this power play. Just a disaster. 10 minutes into the second period, Matt Murray almost lets in a Vesa Toskala-esque goal from center ice. Sort of just came in and does like the old like 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth hop. It just goes and like tried almost hopped over him. He got it with like the pad at the bottom of the glove, so just barely able to save it. So then, right in front of the net, after Matt Murray has covered up this puck that sort of bounced on him, everyone's just standing around. Then Connor Brown just two hands Matthew Highmore right in the numbers for no reason. Canucks go to the power play. They finally get a power play where they dial up some shots, but again, it's killed off. So the Sens are still up 2-0 after 2. We go into the third. Canucks, again, an early power play with Colin White going off for a tripping penalty. Another just awful power play, making them 4 for 4. The referees were very cool on this one to ignore the very obvious Quinn Hughes slash on a shorthanded rush by Connor Brown. I get, like, for these refs to go out and just call everything and then just miss, like, weird little things like the Sutter trip, Sutter getting tripped, and then Hughes slashing Connor Brown here. Just a complete weird mess all around. And then about 11 minutes to go, Bo Horvat takes a slashing penalty where he slashes a guy's stick. It didn't even look like it broke the guy's stick, but he immediately threw his stick in the air as if it was broken, and Bo Horvat got a slashing penalty. I didn't see an angle where his stick was actually broken. Nothing really happens on this penalty kill. Pretty solid penalty kill from the Canucks. Bo Horvat comes out of the box on a rush, almost sneaks one past the head of Murray, just comes in and just sort of skims off the noggin and wide. So it's still 2-0. Canucks pull the goalie with over 3 minutes to go. Just over 3 minutes to go. Sens get a couple decent chances at the empty net. Connor Brown ends up burying his second of the night with 91 seconds left to make it 3-0 Ottawa. Actually, I don't think Connor Brown had a goal earlier. It was Batherson and Stützle, right? Either way, Connor Brown, empty net goal, makes it 3-0 Ottawa. Pluses and minuses for this game. There's a lot more minuses than pluses, I'll tell you that right now. But let's get the plus out of the way. Analytically, the Canucks outplayed the Ottawa Senators. They had more expected goals. I'll actually refresh the page because I have it up right here. It was at evens. The Canucks were expected to get 1.79 goals, which isn't a lot, and Ottawa was expected to get 0.63. So while the Canucks outplayed Ottawa, had more expected goals, only having 2 expected goals isn't enough to win you games. And when the Ottawa goes out and scores 2 goals on the power play, it doesn't matter because goals at even strength were 0-0. Just like the fact that expected goals at evens were 1.8 to 0.63 just shows how much of an absolute snoozer this game was. But the minuses, there are a lot more. First one's officiating. And again, I think the officiating was very bad in favor of the Sens early. And then in the second and third period, I think it was just garbage overall. So again, I'm not trying to be like, oh, my team got screwed by the refs. And I think they kind of did on the Travis Hamonic thing, but I think overall it was just bad overall. The penalty kill was not good. Couldn't get the puck out of the zone, which we've seen countless times this year. The Sens getting both of their goals on the power play. One just from Tyler Myers just not being able to control the puck in front of his own net, sort of got in his skates. The other one just a good play from the Sens, moving the puck around well. And then the other minus is the power play. The other special teams. The Canucks didn't get a shot on their first 2 power plays. Their third one, they had some decent chances, and their fourth one was useless as well. So best case, if the Canucks had scored, if the Canucks had overperformed on their power play, they still would have only gone 1 for 4 because 3 out of their 4 power plays were absolutely useless and didn't have a scoring chance. Just bad. Just bad. Next minus, the waiver acquisitions. Travis Boyd was not good. He had that one really bad giveaway to Formanton when Connor Brown broke his stick and had to go to the bench. Jimmy Vesey had a bad game. He had one really good board battle. And other than that, he just had a bad game overall. Neither of them looked good. Just no bueno on the waiver acquisition sides. And the last minus, playoff chances, probably take a pretty good hit on that one. I think they were at 14% going into this game. It's probably back into the single digits. I said going into the series, the Canucks probably need to win 3 of these games at least, and hopefully take the other one to overtime. Well, now the most they can get is 6 points from this 4-game set with Ottawa. It's the first time they've lost to Ottawa this year, and they are going to need some wins. Game pucks for the game. I'm only giving 1 away, and it's going to Matt Murray. The Canucks have owned Matt Murray forever. He was kind of due for one where he got a shutout against the Canucks, or at least performed well against the Canucks. So, you get goalied sometimes. The Canucks goalied the Toronto Maple Leafs back-to-back games. If you just look at the last 3 games in a vacuum, the Canucks deserved to win one of them, and that was this game, and they won 2 of them. Playing with house money, I guess. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this one. Make sure you go follow me on Twitter, ParkersPucks, YouTube, ParkersPucks. You can also join the VIP program. You get some fun emojis like the shotgun emoji. You can see that just by clicking that join button down below. And just click on that Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to my Twitter, my Discord, all that stuff, so you can come hang out with me there. Canucks go next on Saturday night against the Ottawa Senators. When is that game? It is at 7 p.m. as well. I'll probably be live for that one, so make sure you're subscribed so you get notified of the live stream. And other than that, I will see you guys with a video either tomorrow or Saturday.